Hello, this is Fred at the Gate with today's devotional. I'm speaking to all my brothers and sisters in Christ who have a call upon your life and you understand what that call is, yet you haven't responded, you haven't embraced it, and you're not operating in it. My question to you is, what are you waiting for? Why are you still on the sideline? Time is precious and it's fleeting, and God needs you to be actively involved in the ministry that He's called you to. As you have an opportunity, please read Jeremiah, the first chapter, verses 4 through 10. Now, from that, we get to understand a few things about this calling. God knows you, God chose you, God grows you, and God shows you. When we look at Jeremiah's life, he tells Jeremiah, he says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Wow, doesn't that blow your mind? So God knows us. He knows all there is to know about us. There are no secrets from Him. He knows what we've done, what we haven't done. He knows what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are. But He knows us. And armed with all of that information, He chose us. He told Jeremiah, He says, I sanctified you, which means I set you apart for a godly work. I ordained you to be a prophet to the nations. And like many of us, when we get this call from God, Jeremiah responds by saying, basically, I'm young and stupid. I can't do this. He said, don't say you're young. He says, because you will go where I send you, and I will command you what to speak when I send you. So, and then he goes further and extends his hand and touches Jeremiah's mouth and says, now, here, I've given you my word. That's the other thing. He grows us. For whatever the task is, He makes certain that we are properly equipped to do what He's calling us to do. And then, my brothers and sisters, He shows us. After He's all equipped and He sends them forth, He lets them know, you don't need to be afraid of their faces. He says, because I'm with you. I will deliver you in the time of trouble. Notice He didn't say, I'm going to keep you from trouble. Trouble's going to come. But He will be with us and deliver us from the trouble. So for those of you who know your calling and have not actively gotten involved, you need to understand God knows you, knows everything about you, and still God chose you. It's an honor and a privilege. And then God grows you. And then He shows you, because as you are faithful and obedient, He will show you that He is true to His word. He will provide. He will protect. For those of you who don't know what your calling is, then just start with, therefore go and make disciples of all nations. How about that? Start with, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength, and love neighbor as yourself. How about that? But for those of you who clearly understand what your call is, get busy. Get off the sidelines, because the Lord has called you and you need to respond.